look at that. Birding is even fun for the dog. Hey, this is Monica Hoyle, and I'm here from Virginia Master Naturalist today to give a little plug for backyard birding. We're all going to be home for a little while, it would seem, and so what a great opportunity to get to know more about the nature that is right in our backyard. Don't have to go anyplace, don't have to go far, far away, don't even have to go to a park. Birds are around us all the time, and this is a great opportunity to get to know a little bit more about them. So, if you haven't been a birder before, what do you need to get started? Birds. That's pretty much it, birds. You can find them everywhere. You may want to put some feeders out. I've got some feeders out there. Looks a little messy out there. I need to do some cleaning. Get some feeders out there. They'll come right to your house. When you go on a walk, you might use your powers of observation to be a little more cognizant of what you're seeing around you. Look up high in the trees to see things like maybe a northern mockingbird sitting up there just singing his heart out, or look in shrubbery to see little birds that might be in there nesting. Can you hear the birds in there? That's another little sense that you want to start to use. In addition to watching for birds, be sure to listen for birds. I have a friend who thinks listening to birdsong and figuring that out is the simplest thing in the world. I think it's not. I think it's very, very hard. But I've enjoyed getting to learn a little bit about it, because once you get to know a little bit about their songs and you realize who you're listening to, you'll find out that there are a lot of birds around you that you never really knew were there. I have a eastern wood pewee who comes to hang out in the backyard with me once in a while in the summertime. I would never have seen this bird except that I heard his interesting call. So get to know some of the songs, and I think you'll find that birding can be an even bigger experience. So back to how to get started. You need birds. Pay attention to the birds that are coming anyway. Think about putting out a feeder near your kitchen window, like I have lazily done, so I can hang out in my house and do some birding. Think about doing that. If you have binoculars, that's a great thing to have, but you don't have to have them. Don't feel like you have to rush out and buy binoculars just to, pay attention to the birds. You can do a lot of observation just with the naked eye. A guidebook is nice, but if you don't have a guidebook, that's okay, because guess what? Cornell University has this wonderful webpage called All About Birds, and you can find it at allaboutbirds.org. Super easy to remember. There you can find out about everything from migration to mating to what they eat, how they nest, just absolutely everything about them. And so it's a wonderful resource. They also have a little app called Merlin. You can put it on your phone or you can use it on the computer. Merlin is like magic, and you can put in a little information about the bird you're seeing, but you're not sure what it is, and it'll help you figure it out. It'll say, here's a range of birds it might be. What do you think about that? So allaboutbirds.org reduces any real need for having even a bird book to use. So those are the those are the supplies you need. A good resource, allaboutbirds.org, lots of birds, maybe a little bird seed, binoculars if you have them, but it's not critical. How do you go about figuring out what these birds are? Well, the first thing you got to do is a line that I have made fun of every time somebody has said it to me, but it's true. Look at the bird. Look at the bird. Now, birds are quick, so you got to start thinking about what you're going to pay attention to when you see one. You're going to want to see what size it is when you go to Merlin and those kinds of resources to see what your bird might be. It's going to say, how big is your bird? Is it the size of a sparrow? Is it the size of a robin? Is it the size of a crow, which is really big? That'll help them narrow down to see what it is you're looking at. It'll want to know about colors, but don't just say it's blue. Say it had blue on its wings, or it had blue on its head, but its belly was kind of orange and not so much blue. So notice where the colors are. Notice special markings. I have a hard time telling sparrows apart, but I've got a chipping sparrow right now, and one of the things that you can use to determine that is a really dark eye line right here. So markings like around its eyes, on its wings, bars on its wings, that kind of thing will help you figure out what you're looking at. Beaks, size of the beak, shape of the beak, color of the beak. Pay attention to that kind of thing. So just kind of notice a couple of those sorts of little things so that you can get a little more information out and hopefully figure out what your bird is. So look at the bird, listen to the bird. Again, I know that's intimidating. I'm not very good at it still, but by learning a few, you'll find out that it really opens up the world around you. So, you know what a crow sounds like, and you might know what a cardinal sounds like. So you already know two. And so you start to, wean out on all that, and all that noise, you start to wean out a couple of those you do know. And suddenly you realize you maybe can know a few more. It'll make it more fun for you if you learn a little bit. Now, why does it matter? Finally, why does it matter? Well, it is super interesting and super cool. Here at these little feeders that I've got outside my windows, the Scottish Terrier Sidekick, and I see upwards of 17, 20 different species. That's pretty amazing for just a backyard feeder. So it's very interesting. It's also important because birds are part of our natural environment, and the more we know about the environment, the more we care about it, and the more we care about it, the more likely we are to want to help take care of it. So get to know the nature around you by name, by habit. Find out what's important about them, find out what's interesting about them, and think about what you can do. I hear a woodpecker. Think about what you can do to be more protective of the birds and the environment and the frogs and all the things that are around you and surrounding you all the time. And the last thing is, it's a great opportunity if you're interested in getting involved in citizen science. Allaboutbirds.org also has a program called Feeder Watch, and you can basically observe all these cool things happening around you, and then you can make observations, record those on Feeder Watch, and it gives people who study this sort of thing additional information about how this works, and about migration, and about where there maybe are some species that are showing up where they didn't used to be, or not showing up where they used to be. So it helps a lot to get a lot more data out there if we as citizens and regular people can record our observations. All right, so you don't need a lot to get started. Start using your power of observations better. Look, listen, and go to allaboutbirds.org and think about getting involved in a citizen science project. What a great time to learn more about nature now that we have a little bit of time on our hands. Have a great day, and let's go see some birds.